Good evening, everybody. Important things first. The picture round is on the event page on the Facebook event. Go and find it for yourself. I will start putting the pictures up shortly as a slideshow so you can watch them go through. Whilst we're waiting for a few people to join in. So the picture rounds will pop up on this side. Oh, sorry. That. There we go. On that side. That side there. So the pictures are there. The numbers at the top, so it tells you which question you are on the answer sheet. 1 to 10. 1 to 9 is name the person. Number 10 is name the object. My name's Shaun. I am the quiz man in resident at the line at Basford. For those of you who don't know, we have 2 quizzes a week when we're open for normal business. Wednesdays it's general knowledge, and Sundays it is music. We'll give everyone 5 to 10 minutes to settle in. There's still people coming on board. We're waiting to hit the 200 mark. Right, I've raided the beer fridge for tonight. I've got a lovely Nognor, all the way from Scandinavia. 7.5% Olet beer. It's been in there for a couple of years. Ooh, it's very nice. Very dusty as well. I need to get a sponsorship from Brewcavern or from Optimism, or even one of the other delivery systems. Oh, it's that way. Can never remember which way around it is. There you go. Delivered from Norway, from one of my dear friends. I got rated on this last week by my mum. I didn't waffle too much apparently. Tonight might be different. It's been a long day. Right, we currently have 192 people. Give it 2 or 3 minutes and then we will begin. I say people, that's 192 families and watch parties. I got lots of feedback last week where people were playing along on Zoom, on Facebook watch parties. Quite a lot of enjoyment had all round. Feel free to heckle in the comments. I am monitoring the pub's comments as we go through. Yeah, I think Jordan may decide to make a cameo later on, Ruth. She did it on a video conference with work earlier. Wanted to come and say hello to people. So currently you've got the picture round scrolling through. Name all the people. Number 10, name the object. You don't need the fancy answer sheet that's on the Facebook page. You can just use a piece of paper. There's nothing fancy needed. Some people just like to have the experience of using the official sheet. And get mentioned in Instagram stories as well. If you want to tag the pub or myself in anything on Instagram and Facebook, obviously Instagram is the line at Basford and the thequizmannotts. It's the same for Facebook if you want to go and tag anything. Our illustrious leader, Mr. Gallagher. Welcome. I was just saying, Mark, we need to get a sponsorship from Optimism or the Brewcavern for home deliveries of beer. Alright, 201 people. It's 5 past. I think we should begin. Right. You got your picture around now. That should take you about 5 or so minutes to go through. So 10 pictures, 1 to 9, who are the people? Number 10, what is the object? As last week, at the end of each round, I will paste the questions into the chat thread and pin them to the top so you can review them as and when you require. This is very nice. Right, we shall begin, I think. Round 2 of the quiz is current affairs, 10 things that happened in the last week or so. Question 1. Kenny Rogers sadly died on the 20th of March. What was the title of his first UK number 1 hit single? So Kenny Rogers sadly died on the 20th of March. What was the title of his first UK number 1 hit single? Solo. Question number 2. Which London building has been turned into a 4,000 bed temporary hospital? So which London building has been turned into a 4,000 bed temporary hospital? Question 3. Who led the champion jump jockey table after the UK's national hunt season was halted 6 weeks early? So who led the champion jump jockey table after the UK's national hunt season was halted 6 weeks early? Question 4. For how long have MOT certificates been extended to from the 30th of March? So, how long have MOT certificates been extended from the 30th of March? For those that were due to expire anyway. Question 5. Who plays the lead role in the ITV drama The Trouble with Maggie Cole? So who plays the lead role in the ITV drama The Trouble with Maggie Cole? You can't put things like that in the chat, Mr. Church. It's a family quiz. Question number 6. What type of flowers did St. John take to the top of the UK charts in March 2020? So what type of flowers did St. John take to the top of the charts in March 2020? And a second music question, question 7. Whose 2020 album was Heartbreak Weather? So whose 2020 album was Heartbreak Weather?
Sean, you froze at St. John. What type of flowers does St. John?
Question number 8. Which 2020 Pixar film featured two teenage elf brothers, Ian and Barley Lightfoot? So which 2020 Pixar film featured two teenage elf brothers, Ian and Barley Lightfoot? Just a reminder, the questions will be posted into the chat straight after each round in case you've missed any questions. So 6 and 7, I gather there was a couple of sound issues, but 6 was, which type of flowers did St. John take to the top of the UK charts in March 2020? And 7 was, whose 2020 album was Heartbreak Weather? Question number 9. Fans of which TV show set in a post-apocalyptic world following a worldwide epidemic must wait for the finale of the current series after producers revealed they had not been able to finish it because of COVID-19? So fans of which TV show set in a post-apocalyptic world following a worldwide epidemic must wait for the finale of the current series after producers revealed they had not been able to finish it because of COVID-19. And question 10, the final question of this round. In the final Prime Minister's questions of the current parliamentary session, how many questions did Leader of the Opposition Jeremy Corbyn ask? Was it 0, 6 or 12 questions? So in the final session of Prime Minister's questions in the current parliamentary session, how many questions did Leader of the Opposition Jeremy Corbyn ask? Was it 0, 6 or 12 questions? Just pasting those questions into the chat window, and I'll pin them there so you can see them. In round 3, I'm going to ask you 2 questions. Each question has 5 possible answers. The more of those answers you get right, to the maximum of 5, the more points you're going to get for each question. So 2 questions, 5 answers each. Question 1 in this round. In the film Shaun of the Dead, who are the 5 other characters to go to the Winchester with Shaun? So in the film Shaun of the Dead, who were the other 5 other characters to go to the Winchester with Shaun? So in the film Shaun of the Dead, who were the 5 other characters to go to the Winchester with Shaun? Question 2. I'm going to give you 5 TV shows, and I want you to name the pub that is used in each show. So I'm going to give you 5 TV shows, and I want you to name the pub that is used in each show. EastEnders, Only Fools and Horses, MASH, Heartbeat, and Emmerdale. So 5 TV shows, name the pub that is used in each show. EastEnders, Only Fools and Horses, MASH, Heartbeat, and Emmerdale. Right, move on to round 4. Round 4 is called your Alpha Links round. In this round, I'm going to ask you 10 questions, Ask you 10 questions. If the answer to question 1 begins with the letter C, the answer to question 2 begins with the letter D, the answer to question 3, letter E, and so on. Should we get to the letter Z at any point, the next answer will begin with the letter A. 10 questions, alphabet time. So, question number 1. In tennis, what area falls between the baseline and the service line? So in tennis, what area falls between the baseline and the service line? Round 3 is in the chat as well, in case you missed anything. So in tennis, what area falls between the baseline and the service line? Question 2. What did the Romans call Scotland? So what did the Romans call Scotland? It's not good to do a jigsaw while trying to do a quiz, Julie, I'm afraid. Question 3. What was the name of Dr. Doolittle's pet duck? So what was the name of Dr. Doolittle's pet duck? Question 4. On which cricket ground did Brian Lara score 501 not out? So on which cricket ground did Brian Lara score 501 not out? Sometimes with the Alpha Links round you can get to question 4 or 5 before you've got an answer, at which point you should be able to backtrack through the others and fill in some of the blanks. That's the logic behind it anyway. Question 5. Which country hosted the Summer Olympic Games in 1952? So which country hosted the Summer Olympic Games in 1952? I was a Cub Scout. We always have hankies with us, I'm afraid. Question number 6. What is an emasculated stallion called? So what is an emasculated stallion called? Question 7. In Red Dwarf, what did the H stand for on Rimmer's head? So in Red Dwarf, what did the H stand for on Rimmer's head? Question number 8. Dr. Herman Rorschach is credited with developing what kind of tests? So Dr. Herman Rorschach is credited with developing what kind of tests? Question number 9. Who wrote the best-selling novel Polo? So who wrote the best-selling novel Polo? And question 10, the final one of this round. To which bird family does the kookaburra belong? So which bird family does the kookaburra belong? I'll paste those questions into the chat. After round 4, we move to round 5. Round 5 is our connections round. In this round, I'm going to ask you 4 questions, then a 5th and final what connects the previous 4 answers. So question 1. What is the capital of the Isle of Man? So what is the capital of the Isle of Man? Question 2. The actor who played Marcus Brody, in the Indiana Jones films is who? So the actor who played Marcus Brody in the Indiana Jones films is who? Question 3. Question 3. The downtrodden character from Coronation Street that is regularly seen walking around with his old bag for life is who? So what's the name of the downtrodden character from Coronation Street that is regularly seen walking around with his old bag for life? And that's not the name of his other half. Question 4. What is known to grow on the north side of trees, rocks and buildings, and it also may help you navigate? So what is known to grow on the north side of trees, rocks and buildings, and is also known to help you navigate? And question 5, what connects the previous 4 answers? So what connects the previous 4 answers? I'll paste the questions into the chat thread so you can catch up on them should you need to. After round 5, we move on to round 6. Round 6 is our Wipeout round. In this round, you've got 10 questions. If you get all 10 questions right, you get a bonus of 5 points. But if you decide to enter something in and it's wrong, you lose all the points for the round. So this is where you need to be honest with yourself and everyone else playing. If you wipe out, you wipe out. Don't just forget you've put it in there and tell everyone you've done really well. So the quiz is often won or lost on this round when we're in the pub. People gamble and go for it, or gamble and fail. So question 1. What is the fear of fears known as? So what is the fear of fears known as? Question 2. What is a young fish called? So what is a young fish called? That's when it's freshly popped out. No, Mr. Brown, it's not a Nimbus 2000. It is my Darth Vader lightsaber. Oh, actually, tell a lie. That's my Luke Skywalker. My Darth Vader's up here. You may remember it. It got delivered when we used to work together. Question 3. Who is the Greek counterpart of Venus? So who is the Greek counterpart of Venus? So if in Roman mythology she's called Venus, what's her Greek name? Question 4. How many dots are there on a pair of die? So how many dots are there on a pair of die? Question 5. What is a group of squirrels called? So what is a group of squirrels called? There you go. Question 6. After Russia and Kazakhstan, what is the third largest of the former Soviet republics? So after Russia and Kazakhstan, which is the third largest of the former Soviet republics? Question 7. What classic toy was invented by Richard and Betty James in 1945? So what classic toy was invented by Richard and Betty James in 1945? It's the last round and there's a bonus, so they will be a bit tougher in this one, I'm afraid. You usually find there's 7 or 8 mediocre questions and 2 to tax you, so you can't go for the full 10. Question 8. What is a 60-year anniversary referred to as? So what's a 60-year wedding anniversary referred to as? Don't worry, Mr. Pell, I'm thinking of making some big changes for next week's quiz. Question 9. I've played with my lightsaber. Time for a Star Wars question. Which Cheers actor was in The Empire Strikes Back? So which actor from Cheers was in The Empire Strikes Back? And your final one, question number 10. Oh, we've got the tiebreak to come after this. Who had a hit in 1991 with the song Mustang Sally? So which group had a hit in 1991 with the song Mustang Sally? Remember, if you get all 10 right on that round, you get a bonus of 5 points. If you get anything wrong, though, you lose all the points for the round. And your tiebreaker, just in case we have a tiebreak or you guys have a tie in your little groups that you're playing in. What is the surface temperature of the sun in degrees Celsius? So what is the surface temperature of the sun in degrees Celsius? I popped out today and got the answer, so it's fully accurate. I'm just going to quickly top up my glass. And we're back in about 2 minutes for the answers. See you shortly. Right, I'm back again. Apologies. Right. Time for your answers. Uh-oh. I just spotted mother's connected in. Best put my tie on. Best behaviour. Right, Picture Round was your first set of answers. I wanted you to tell me who the people were. Number 1 was Rose McGowan, the actress from Charmed, Planet Terror, many other things. Persecution of Mr. Weinstein, lead. Number 2 is Gregory Porter, a guy that likes to wear a balaclava or two. Number 3 is Bobby Kennedy. You always find him in the kitchen at hotels. Number 4 is Floyd Mayweather, the lead from The Money Train. Number 5 is Craig Revel Horwood. Number 6, birthday girl today, is Hannah Spirit, formerly of S Club 7. And more importantly, Primeval on ITV. Number 7, there he is. Such a happy chap. It's Elon Musk. Mr. I want to spend my money on whatever I want to do. Number 8 is Sam Allardyce. Number 9 is Holly Willoughby. And number 10, it's a snake. Number 2, your current affairs. Kenny Rogers died on the 20th of March. What was the title of his first UK number 1 single? That's Lucille. Lucille. Question 2. The London building, which has been turned into a 4,000-bed temporary hospital called NHS Nightingale, is the XL Exhibition Centre. Number 3. Who led the champion jump jockey table after the UK's national hunt season was halted 6 weeks early? That's Brian Hughes. Number 4. How long have the MOT certificates been extended for from the 30th of March? That's 6 months. Number 5. Who plays the lead role in the ITV drama The Trouble with Maggie Cole? That's Dawn French. How many minuses yet, Mr. Meakin? Number 6. What type of flowers did St. John take to the top of the UK charts in March 2020? That's roses. Number 8. Oh, sorry, number 7. Whose 2020 album was Heartbreak Weather? That's Niall Moran, the former One Directioner. Number 8, which 2020 Pixar film featured the 2 teenage elf brothers, Ian and Barley Lightfoot? That's Onward. Yeah, I've just been told about the sound's gone. Just bear with me 2 seconds. And there she is, cameo for daughter. So, number 8 was Onward. Number 9, fans of which TV show set in a post-apocalyptic world following a worldwide epidemic must wait for the final of this current series? That is The Walking Dead. Number 10. In the final Prime Minister's questions of the current parliamentary session, how many questions did Leader of the Opposition Jeremy Corbyn ask? Was it 0, 6 or 12? Well, it was an hour long and it was 12. 12 questions in an hour. Alright, round 3. Round 3 was... Round 3 was your top 5 round. In this round, I was going to ask you 2 questions, and I wanted you to tell me the 5 answers for each question. So, question 1. In the film Shaun of the Dead, who were the 5 other characters to go to the Winchester with Shaun? So, first of all, Ed goes to the Winchester, so that's Nick Frost. Shaun's mum goes, Barbara. Shaun's ex-girlfriend, Liz. Liz's housemate, Diane, goes. And Diane's really annoying boyfriend, David, goes. So they're the 5 people. Ed, Barbara, Liz, Diane and David. Question 2. The 5 TV shows I gave you, and I want you to name the pub that is used in each show. EastEnders, Only Fools and Horses, MASH, Heartbeat and Emmerdale. EastEnders is the Queen Vic. Only Fools and Horses is the Nag's Head. MASH is Rosie's Bar. Heartbeat is the Aidensfield Arms. And Emmerdale is the Woolpack. Round 4 was your Alpha Links. Number 1, tennis. What area falls between the baseline and the service line? That's the back court. Number 2, what did the Romans call Scotland? Caledonia. Number 3, what is the name of Dr. Doolittle's pet duck? That's Dab Dab. Number 4, on which cricket ground did Brian Lara score 501 not out? It begins with the letter E, so that's Edgbaston. Number 5, which country hosted the Summer Olympic Games in 1952? That's Finland. Number 6, what is an emasculated stallion called? It's not the right letter, so it's not James. It's a gelding. Number 7, in Red Dwarf, what does the H stand for on Rimmer's head? That's hologram. Number 8, Dr. Herman Rorschach is credited with developing what kind of tests? That's the inkblot tests. What do these ink blots look like to you? Someone trying to stab someone is always a good answer. Number 9. Who wrote the best-selling novel Polo? That's Jilly Cooper. And number 10. To which family of birds does the kookaburra belong? That's a kingfisher. Kingfisher. Round 5 was your connections round. Number 1, what is the capital of the Isle of Man? That's Douglas. Number 2, what's the name of the actor who played Marcus Brody in the Indiana Jones films? That's Denholm Elliott. Number 3, the name of the downtrodden character from Coronation Street that is regularly seen walking around with his old bag for life is Roy Cropper. And number 4, what is known to grow on the north side of trees, rocks and buildings and is also used for navigation assistance? That's moss. And your connection this week is the IT crowd. So you got Moss, Roy, Denholm, as in Denholm Renholm, and we've got Douglas, as in his son, Douglas Renholm. So 4 characters from the IT crowd. Round 6 was your Wipeout. Get all 10 right, you get a bonus of 5 points. Question 1. What is the fear of fears known as? Phobophobia. Number 2. What is a young fish called? That's a fry. Number 3. Who is the Greek counterpart of the Roman goddess Venus? That's Aphrodite. Number 4. How many dots are there on a pair of die? That's 42. Number 5. What is a group of squirrels called? It's got 2 names. It's either a dray or a scurry. A dray or a scurry. Number 6. After Russia and Kazakhstan, what is the 3rd largest of the former Soviet republics? That's Ukraine. Number 7. What classic toy was invented by Richard and Betty James in 1945? That's the Slinky. Number 8. What is a 60-year wedding anniversary? That's the diamond anniversary. Number 9. Which Cheers actor was in The Empire Strikes Back? That's John Ratzenberger. He played Cliff the postman in Cheers, not in Star Wars. And number 10. Which group had a hit in 1991 with Mustang Sally? That's The Commitments from the film of the same name. And your wipeouts, I asked you, what is the surface temperature of the sun in degrees Celsius? That's 5,505 degrees Celsius. So, if you've had an internal competition to who's the closest, work out who's won on that one. So your quiz is out of 60. Start to fire in your scores into the chat thread, please, so we can get some feedback, see who's doing what. John Ratzenberger played the Rebel Force Major Durling on the ice planet Hoth. So all you could see of him with his moustache poking out from his hood. Because I know there's going to be a few people asking who John Ratzenberger played in Star Wars, not believing me. Yes, he was the pig in Toy Story, James, and we all know why that wasn't his name. Unfortunate, Rachel, wiping out. Terry, 28, you're the first score, so at the moment you're in the lead. Lynn, 24 with Charlie's Angels. Oh, I do miss Charlie. Summer, 12 out of 60. Defo smashed it. Oh, no, it smashed you. Okay. Claire, quiz on my face, got 30. Daughter got 24 with the house crew. James, 34 out of 60. You need the oldies sometimes, you do. Claire got 39 for the Loft Houses. The classic toy was a Slinky, Jason. The big spring that goes up and down the stairs. Jono, 36 for the Griffols. Harder than last week. It was this week. I'm going to make sure it's a little bit different next week. Our normal supplier didn't deliver a quiz, so I had to pull one out of the archive. 2 points to Largo, 24 points this week. 15 points for Stacey. You can't say that about yourself. Ilson on tour, 37 for Joanne. 23 for Rich. Circuit, 34 for the Browns. 31 for Jason. COVID, she is definitely 16. 24 points for Brent. 13 for Thermodynamic Enthusiasts. Wizard Sleeve with 35. Ruth wiped out. 37 for Pangolan's Revenge. I think that's the lead at the moment. 29 for Peter. 36 for Holly. 31 for Sarah for the Mad Hatters. 25 for Mr. Brown. The B team, 31. 32.5 for Julian for the Friends of Carrington Lido. Just go for 33. 23 for Mulligan's Bar. Mulligan's Bar is such a lovely place. It's not a real bar. 54 points, and you're saying it was harder than last week, at least. Okay. The Wise Monkeys are one of my regular Sunday quizzes, and they are rather good. 32 points for the Pebble Boys. 15 for Ellen, and I'm hoping Philip's with you tonight. 38 points for Faye. 19 for Mick. 32 for Christy. 33 for Ruth. You're not doing it together this week, you two. 19 for Gaz. 30 for Aid and Lou. 29 for Stir Crazy. Paul, 40 points. 32 for Mr. Duffy. 38 for Joe Shepherd. 38 for Uber Troopers. 32 for the Duffins. 23 for Sherwood. 4 minus 2. 30 points for Lucy. 39 for Diana and the Potato Heads. Is that a baked potato by any chance? 26 for the Climbers. Yeah, you're missing the chips because you always nick the chips. Jason, great quiz, thanks. See you next week. Mr. Church, 36 points for the greater good. Sandra, 17. Dale, 16. Looks like we've got a bit of a clear winner this week with the Wise Monkeys with 54 points. Next week, I'm going to throw a lot more entertainment in there just to drag us away from boring history questions, something people might enjoy a little bit more. Good night. God bless everyone. Stay safe. Stay indoors where you can. Have a beer if you haven't got none. I am going to try and get a sponsor for this next week. Mark, I'll speak to you about that tomorrow. Good night, everyone. See you next time.